Here they are with Butler, Thompson, and Clark, the top three. Mitchell, Maldonado, and Obergfell, and then Manwaring, Uribe, and Krukow. And on the mound, trying to slow down the Giants, the left-hander Bob Ojeda. A 300-acre ranch in Visalia was involved, you remember, with a threat to bunt. He has 9 bunt singles. He had 20. Oh, yeah, last year he was 4th in the league.
Yeah.
Fastball, and it's into left field. So Brett Butler continues to do what he does so well, get on base. And for extra bases. He has always done well against Mets pitching. In fact, we'll watch Butler. He's going. And it's a hit-and-run drive to straightaway center to Lenny Dykstra, who has to really extend that right arm to pick it off. And Butler comes back to first. Tells us that, number one, we have a southeast wind, which is blowing from back of the right field corner and across the left. And that's usually a wet wind, and they're talking about rain tomorrow. And here is one of the pure hitters in the league, Will Clark. First ball swinging and lifting a fly ball to McReynolds. So that's a big out to get on one pitch. Clark was hitting .361. Mitchell was with the Mets from 1980 until he was involved in the San Diego 8-player deal. And we'll see if he tries to get the jump. Doubtful with Mitchell up there. And Kevin lifting a fly ball to Strawberry. And so that's the top of the first, as Bob Ojeda gave up the leadoff single to Butler. One ball was hit hard. Thompson, but he walks away with a 0 on the board. First inning, the prospects of a fine game. Here are the Mets: Lenny Dykstra, Tim Tuffle, and Howard Johnson. Darryl Strawberry, Kevin McReynolds, and Dave Magadan. Barry Lyons, Kevin Elster, and Bob Ojeda. And on the mound for San Francisco, Mike Krukow. Krukow, 2-1, makes it a habit of beating the Mets. He's won 120 games in his career, and he has hit 8 career leadoff home runs. The latest, May the 3rd, against Jose Rio.
Is not afraid to pitch inside. He will establish inside.
He's had arm trouble, shoulder trouble, so I'm not quite sure how much velocity he has. And he'll give you a fastball, curve, slider, and he's throwing a split finger change.
The umpires called a ball, said he went to his mouth.
And he said, no, I went up around my eyes. And here comes Roger Craig.
It was a warm day here in New York, and perspiration, I can tell you that from the old timers game down there. I only had to get 2 outs, and I was drenched.
It is in the 80s.
But he's called a ball.
Yeah, Krukow has had to be restrained by, we'll watch him on the mound. Ground ball, and Clark was going to the line, just did go back to get it. I don't know if he lost that ball, what happened to Clark, but he was going the wrong way and was able to jam the brakes. And he is a fine fielding first baseman.
61, you could just about say anything you want.
Tim Tuffle has said almost anything he wants as he hits a ball to short. Uribe, who's the only Giant to start every game, throws him out. Tuffle, who had been alternating with Greg Jeffries, then Jeffries suddenly took over. 7 of his 9 home runs come from this side, and there's a fly ball to right center. However, that should be handled. Oh, a near collision, a bump, and Maldonado, who outweighs Butler and is taller than Butler, made the catch. That can be tough. It's very. Andy has really fallen off. He had 2 great years for San Francisco. And he hits a high fly ball to right center. The wind will kind of bring that back over to Dykstra. 1 down. When you played here, Tom,
We were hearing that airplane before we heard it here inside the stadium.
No balls and 1 strike to Ken Obergfell. Ground ball wide of first. Magadan is there feeding Ojeda. Emphatic call by Eric Gray. No score, top of the 2nd inning. Drive to right. Strawberry will try and cut it off at the pass, and does, and holds Manwaring to the single. So a 2-out base hit to right field will bring up Jose Uribe this year. It seems kind of early, doesn't it, to say that, and yet it's pertinent. And that's going to be lifted to Strawberry. So Ojeda getting a lot of fly ball outs. He's gotten 4 in 2 innings, but he's getting them one way or the other. And at the end of an inning and a half, no score. And Strawberry trying to tell him to hang in there. So Krukow dispatches him 1 down. Talking about home runs with bases empty. McReynolds for a month now hitting over 300. That's been the story of the Mets. They got, including last night, giving the Mets 4 walks with 2 out in the 10th inning. Going back to get it, and he can't get it, is Butler. And into second base is Kevin McReynolds. He is now hit in 8 straight. Against the Dodgers, and he had a double and a couple of singles against the Giants. So in his last 2 games he's hit for the cycle. 1 out. Chopper to the right side. Robbie Thompson without an error this year. He and Willie Randolph of the Dodgers playing every inning at second base without an error. McReynolds advancing to third. You try to make your comeback, and then after the game he said, that's it, I'm not going to make the ball club, and I'm going to call it a career. And then one of the writers said, game streak snapped last night. Breaking ball, and he drives it to left. Back goes Mitchell to the track. He's got it. No run, a double and a man left at third, and at the end of 2, no score. We'll be right back. Also been victimized by injuries, and we'll tell you about that after Mike Krukow checks in and hits a fly ball to Strawberry in right field. Mike's a good hitter. 1 down. The Giants this year, and they are right there in the sense a game and a half back in 9 throwing strikes. 3-2 the count to Butler. Half swing, got him. Question to you, in your illustrious career, when you won over 300 games, his career. 2-2 the count to Robbie Thompson, making Ojeda work. 2 out in the third, no score. Got him. So Ojeda now, who's high in strikeouts, has been 4 this year, has picked up his second, and at the end of 2.5, no score. Last night did something that even former teammates couldn't believe when he came in and walked 2 in a row, including the game-winning walk for the Mets. Coming over to try to get there is Mitchell. Tries to backhand it, and he's going to call the hitter out. The fan knocked the ball away from Mitchell, and the third base umpire, Jim Quick, has said that Elster is out. So Kevin Mitchell will get a put out, and we'll see whether the fan gets a put out. In a lot of ballparks, the fan would be dispatched. No score, bottom of the third inning. Ojeda with Len Dykstra hitting back of him. In St. Louis. St. Louis in Atlanta tonight, and there's a hopper behind second. Base hit for Ojeda. Did you like to hit? Did you like to go up to the plate and hit?
Then you had to go try and pitch.
1 ball, no strikes, and that's a jammer, and a little foul off to the left, and Manwaring is there to put it away, and that takes care of Dykstra. Let's get an update on what's
hard pounding over the years. I was talking to Jerry Grody about DC-9 and different engine sounds.
So that does it for Tim Tuffle. He goes down swinging. No runs, 1 hit, a man left, and at the end of 3, no score. Mets is observed today. In 1989, it's conceivable that the battle for the most valuable 3-2. And he got a hold of that one. A high drive into deep right field, and that one is gone in the Mets bullpen. Will Clark hits his 7th home run, 30 RBIs, and the Giants lead 1-0. Oh, what a hitter this guy is.
I've seen him for 2 days. I saw him last night and today here. I have not seen him take a bad swing yet. These 2 clubs have in common that they're both basically first ball fastball hitting clubs. The way to pitch him is kind of the way Ojeda pitches. It's really how to attack both of these ball clubs.
And there's a drive to right. Strawberry has to go back on that, and this baby's got a chance and goes out. So Mitchell, who was so strong, goes the other way and clears the wall at about the 370 sign. So back-to-back home runs by Clark and Mitchell, and the Giants lead 2-0. That means 9 home runs in a row have been with the bases empty for San Francisco. There was one surprise about Maldonado, and I think really it slowed him up. He is one of the few Latin players I ever saw who does not run well. And the Dodgers were always going after speed. Look at this shot. Dykstra at the 410 sign. Woo. Of talent in Major League Baseball. The Giants made a trade with Pittsburgh. They wanted Ken Oberkfell. He was hitting 181 at the time of the trade. And the Pirates got Roger Samuels, and Roger Samuels had a record of 1-5 in AAA. Clark and Mitchell. Bob Ojeda trying to right the ship. Fly ball to left field. It's playable. McReynolds is there. And that's it. 2 runs on 2 swings of the bat. Nobody left. And at the end of 3.5 innings, as Mitchell and Clark prepare to go back to work, it's 2-0 San Francisco.
The decision the Mets are going to have to come up with, because Keith Hernandez in the last year of his contract.
Fly ball to Maldonado.
As Gary Carter is, Vinny. There's 2 guys making a lot of money. 2 veterans, 2 real pros. Will they be back here? I think that
Sparky outwardly has the philosophy, I'm at that age in life where I can handle defeat. I don't think so.
I think you hit the nail right on the head. Absolutely.
Got him. Fastball on the inside corner. And Strawberry caught looking. That is really challenging a hitter to dare to come in there to him.
Are we talking already in the back of Krukow's mind, saying let's get the ball down a little bit. Kevin, a good high fastball hitter.
No balls and 1 strike. And he popped that one up around the plate. Manwaring go out. Krukow better direct traffic, and it's the third baseman at the last minute, Ken Oberkfell. Well, we'll be right back after these messages from your local station. It's 2-0 San Francisco. San Francisco for 4 years. Sean Dunston and Ryan Sandberg 4, and the granddaddy duo, so to speak, Alan Trammell along with Lou Whitaker, Detroit. 1 down. The last home run was in June of last year. He ripped one against Eric Shao. 5 home runs, that's a lot. Did you ever hit a home run?
Only about 12 or something.
Really?
I was waiting. You knew to ask me that one. I had more than my roommate, Buddy Harrelson. That still galls him to this day.
Left, struck out, threat to bunt, so Johnson has to play him on the grass.
And those arms, and if the outfielder got in front of it, he'd been killed.
Ground ball wide of first, fielded there by Magadan, and just in time, Bobby Ojeda getting over there because Butler flies down the line. And at the end of 4.5, 2-0 San Francisco. Hernandez was talking to Tom before the game, and he said, from what I've read in the papers, they'll play better this year without me than last. And they
better all the way around. It's just one straight line.
Ground ball to Uribe at the bag.
And Dr. Parcher said he has already put Keith on exercises, some leg exercises to keep the muscles toned around that area, around the patella area.
There are always rumors, I guess, because society loves to feed on rumors. I told this last year when I was just in what appeared to be really a harmless collision. It didn't look like anything serious. Base hit for Barry Lyons to left field. The next night, early, 4 o'clock in the ballpark. You know the big rumor? The big rumor was that Keith Hernandez has a fractured kneecap.
Howard Johnson.
Kevin Elster looking for a sign now with 1 out. Barry Lyons at first, not Elster. Fastball sliced into right. Maldonado digging. Great catch, and back to first base goes Lyons. Maldonado, who does not run that well. had to truly let out to get to that one. But the runs came on home runs. Will Clark and Kevin Mitchell in the 4th inning. Bobby singled in the 3rd.
Just have to be extra special careful as an athlete.
Fastball slapped into left center. Butler along with Mitchell, and it's Mitchell to pick it off. No runs, 1 hit. Candy Maldonado changed the entire inning and the game around, and it's 2-0 Giants. And Kevin Mitchell.
I wonder if they gave those nicknames of pitchers and stuff for a game.
Yeah, like wrestlers, you know.
The heater, dead red, and they change and they go out and they come back and they go out and they come back. They come in vogue and they go out of vogue. Some cheese, and I mean, you can name it.
They will have a record of having won 18 of their 25 home games. Well, you go up there, you're in trouble. And he drills that one, and here comes Lenny, and it's off his glove, pushed over towards Strawberry. Clark is going into second base, and stopping at third is Robbie Thompson, and Dykstra acts like a man who felt he should have caught it. An intentional walk today, and you say, well, that's a big deal. It is a big deal. I mean, Davy Johnson would give up an intentional walk as easily as he would give up a tattoo. And he has given up 2 to now that's 9 all year. For the last 3 years, no one gave up intentional walks more grudgingly than Davy Johnson. So it is the situation, but more importantly, it's a tribute to Kevin Mitchell, just as it was the other night. 14 chances. The ERA in the bullpen is 1.3, and Aguilera has been pitching very well. The bullpen has not allowed a home run in over 95 innings. Hit 3 grand slam home runs, most recently in 1987.
Ball as well.
High fly ball into shallow center. Dykstra really has to come as the run is tagged. Now he's got some impetus to get the throw off, and the runners have to hold. When the ball went up, it looked like Elster might handle it, but then it carried, and Dykstra really shifted into high gear. Ken's been playing in the big league since 1977, originally signed by the Cardinals. Oberkfell does not strike out. He's a pretty good judge, so let's see if Craig gives him the green light. Yep, and he drives it. Dykstra is going to run it down. This time, however, Thompson will tag and score. Over to third goes Clark. Holding at first is Mitchell, and it's 3-0 San Francisco. So Oberkfell picked up his RBI. Strike zone as we see Terry Kennedy coming up now to hit for Kurt Manwaring. Kennedy has always hit well, and he's been a pretty good game. Ground ball to the right side. Tuffle will take care of it. So a pretty good job for Aguilera. He gives up 1 run on the fly ball and 2 left, and it is 3-0 San Francisco. In the bottom of the 6th. The Mets playing very well at home. That shouldn't come as any surprise. They were the best home team in the major leagues last year. Fly ball to right field to Maldonado. 1 down.
Another thing we've seen a lot of this year too, many first pitch hitting. Minor leagues. Talking about Bertie Tebbets, he says a young hitter needs 12 to 1,300 at bat. Throwing it incorrectly because they haven't learned how to throw it correctly.
Tuffle strikes out. That'll be the 4th strikeout.
Another thing we're talking about this you put so much pressure on the elbow, and that's where the trouble comes.
Well, here's some trouble coming now as Howard Johnson gets the walk, and Darryl Strawberry will come up with a man on base. Norm Sherry on the phone to the Giant bullpen. So Darryl Strawberry, 10 home runs, 17 RBIs. Johnson goes, slow curve, lined into right field. Howard Johnson is on his way to third easily. Now Kevin McReynolds represents the tying run as he comes to the plate. So Roger Craig heading for the mound. He has that long drink of water. Mike Lacoste, side armor, 3/4 in the pen. And we'll see whether they go to Lacoste now.
Krukow arguing. You can see him right there saying, I'm okay, I'm okay. He is a real bulldog on the mound. Coming off of shoulder surgery. He's had arthroscopic surgery on his shoulder and pitched very well last time out. No, he's gonna.
Yeah, you know what he just said? He said to Craig, yeah, he hit a good ball first time up. And when you look in your scorebook to McReynolds, he doubled in the second inning. And that was the thing he just said.
And just missed another double. He just hooked it foul, that high fastball. And McReynolds was up in the fourth inning.
And Lacoste, 2 and 3, working on juggling with runners in position and 2 out so far this year. And he lifts a fly ball to shallow right. Maldonado is there. And so McReynolds can't do it in the 6th inning on a lazy fly ball to right. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of 6, 3-0 Giants. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Aguilera. High fly ball down the left field line. McReynolds was able to get under it easily. 1 down. You know, looking at McReynolds for that moment and the fact he hit a fly ball to right field. And last year, Lacoste was absolutely brilliant as far as.
You don't think he is. You can ask him. He'll tell you how good he is.
And he hits one wide to third, speared by Howard Johnson. He's gone. Two down, and here's Brett Butler. He'll consume a little time just to let Lacoste get in and sit down. Because Lacoste only made 2 pitches to McReynolds, which means you're going to see a dark, almost a red and black ball. That's strike 3, and he didn't see it, whether it was red and white or what. So Butler is frozen at the plate in the 7th inning, and it's 3-0 Giants. It's only right, I guess, that on a day saluting old time.
It acts like a screwball. I said, no wonder they took all that garbage out of your elbow.
Fastball hit in the air to straightaway center, and Brett Butler is there. The other thing about Mike Lacoste, we talked about how tough he is on hitters. Home runs. It's got to happen. Over the top fastball. That's that sinker. That takes care of Barry Lyons. 2 down. And the batter will be Kevin Elster.
565 or whatever it is on 3-1 pitches. And then tell him what pitch is coming.
2 and 1. Fly ball to right field. Maldonado will put it away. Although I've heard that when you can't get a hitter out, you might as well tell him what's coming. Maybe he'll get himself all messed up. It is 3-0 Giants. We're going to the bottom of the 7th and now moving to the 8th. There's nothing else to do sitting on the bench for the opposing team. You're watching any mannerism. There are guys who stuck their tongue out when they were throwing one pitch. The Mets, nothing. Hard to believe that the Mets, who led the National League in runs last year, are tied for next to last this year. Down goes Robbie Thompson.
On a pitch that looked like it.
It'll tell you part of the story. Fly ball to left field. McReynolds is there. And so Clark has a home run and a double and only goes 2 for 4.
Only 2 for 4. And hit that ball right on the nose. And here for Old Timers Day in the clubhouse for the game, looking fit and during winter trade talks.
Popped in the air, foul off to the right. Barry Lyons coming with Dave Magadan. It is Magadan. So the Giants are gone in order, and the last 9 have been retired, but it's still 3-0 San Francisco. Bail out Mike Krukow working on Mookie, who's really struggling.
He had to come out of the game. Mike Lacoste came in 12 outs in a row.
Line drive at Uribe. So Wilson hits it on the button, but right at the short. Importance to the Mets gets bigger and bigger because Mike Lacoste going head-to-head with Lenny Dykstra. 2-2. Roll it to the right side. Robbie Thompson. 2 down. So just looking back in the box score, Tim Tuffle Grounded to short, struck out twice. Closer now, but is trying very hard to close this one. Fastball hit to straightaway center. Brett Butler. So in the 8th inning, 7 in a row retired. And at the end of 8, the Giants 3 and the Mets nothing.
An outstanding left-hander he was for this New York Met team for many years, and on to Minnesota, the White Sox.
And now it is Don Ozzie for 11 years in the major leagues. Signed by a free agent February this year. Line drive at the shortstop, Kevin Elston. We've had our share. That's right. 1 run, 3 hits, no runs, 3 hits. Line drive right at Magadan. There are other thoroughbreds running in the sunshine today. Let's find out about it. Manwaring in the 6th inning and grounded out. By the way, don't go wandering off in the
hitter. Good acquisition by the Giants.
3-1. And he's walked him. So the 2-out pass to Kennedy will bring up Jose Uribe. Uribe flied to right, grounded to short, flied to left. He's 0 for 3. Krukow and Lacoste. And that's popped in the air at third. Howard Johnson took his eye off for a moment to see where third base was. And that's that. No runs, no hits, a man left. And at the end of 8 1/2, with Johnson, Strawberry, and McReynolds due up, this man will try to keep them quiet. No sunshine to contend with. It's straight up 6 in New York. No balls, 2 strikes. And he hits a fly ball to left field. And Mitchell is there. And the Mets are down to their last 2 outs with Strawberry and McReynolds. Called. And then single to right field in the 6th inning.
205 pounds. He's close to 230, I would bet.
Hit to the hole. Knocked down by Uribe, but that's all. I doubt very much, even had Jose handled the ball cleanly, he was going away from his play, first base. Reynolds had one big chance. That was in the 6th inning. He represented the tying run. There were runners at first and third and 2 out. And Craig had Lacoste come in to pitch to him, and McReynolds flied to right. Line drive, base hit. Strawberry sees Butler is deep, so he just keeps on going to third. There's a hard ground ball to Uribe. He hangs it to Thompson. Back to Clark, and the Giants, who lead the league in turning double plays, come up with their 44th, and Mike Lacoste shuts out the Mets. So Lacoste got the double play. A great job of relief pitching. In fact, Krukow did well as out.
Great starting pitching, Mike Krukow, and a great job out of the bullpen by Mike Lacoste.
For the Mets, blanked for the 3rd time this year, and for the Giant pitching staff, their 7th shutout.